make sure you grasp as much as you can. This is a very important event. This is a very important session because it actually is the core of why we are having this training going on. So give it your best. If there are notes you have to take, please take them. If there's a recording you have to record, please record. If your memory is too good, keep it in your brain. But I want to urge that give it the best that you can give it. For further to some housekeeping, I think Madam Irene can communicate. As we wait for our colleagues, then we'll do a general introduction of the guests. Then we proceed. So somebody will pray for us. I think we can do the prayer now because we're already starting. Let's rise up and pray. A volunteer. Volunteer faster? Okay.
Let us bow down our heads for a word of prayer. Our dear Heavenly Father, we come before you this morning, dedicating this session into your able hands, Lord. For we believe that you are the heads and not the tail. With you, Lord, we believe we can go far. For all wisdom, power, and understanding belongs to you, and we are ready to receive this morning. We commit our guests into your able hands, Lord. May them deliver what is relevant to us that they have brought to us this morning, Lord, and so that also, Lord, we may utilize it and it may help us. In your name, Lord Jesus Christ, we believe, trusting, and praying.
Thank you so much. As you come in, kindly settle. Kindly settle very fast. Bramwell, watu wa nyuma mnatuona? This side, Billy. Benches. Okay. I want to give Madam Irene to also give us some housekeeping and probably give us her opening remarks. And
Guten Morgen. Wie geht es euch? Okay. We are happy to welcome our long-awaited guests. I know you came here very early. That shows a lot of dedication on your side. You are here, some of you by 7 in the morning. So we are very grateful to welcome them today. But before that, we want to welcome our director, Gordon, to say a word to you. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you so much for coming and making time. I think now we have reached the point where they say the rubber meets the road. Because now we want to start now the process and the systems of getting to do the B1 exam. That is what is we're waiting for. It's quite some process, and I have the examination partners from OSD. They're using the examination so Peter and Kenneth will be taking us through the process of the examination. We have to know what we need to do about the exam, how to prepare for the exam, and what to expect. That's basically generally. Then secondly, we have a system where, between now and May, between April and May, we have a mock exam. A mock exam where Peter and his team will come to do an assessment. So this mock exam, we're going to do a very thorough vetting, and we will get to know where we are. Because as we've been doing together with the Kenyatta University, and they have been handling the Kenyatta University, and we learned a few lessons from Kenyatta University. So we want to make sure that we don't repeat the mistakes and the little blunders we saw at Kenyatta University, so that we want us to have, it's our desire to have every one of you passing the B1. So number one, we'll be doing a lot of assessment. The teachers led by Irene will be doing a lot of assessment and trying to see where the weaknesses are. And then our team from Nairobi, the in-Lagos team, will be having their own assessment. Because we know where we are right now, we've been handling the examiners from Nairobi, and now we are not having examiners from Nairobi, we're having examiners from Germany. So Peter comes from Germany, and his main mission is to assess our capabilities. Then once you do that, we are going to have a mock exam. We'll agree on the dates. Agree on the date, whether it is going to be probably end of April or mid-May. So from this mock exam, we will what do you call it? I think here the word, I think you know about siasa. There'll be mchujo. There'll be mchujo. So Peter, Kenneth, and his team will be doing the what do you call it? The vetting process. Sorry, I think maybe they'll introduce themselves, because I'll just call them Peter and Kenneth, and have my friend called Buyu. So, as I've been telling you and urging you on the WhatsApp group, I know we should not be speaking English right now, but I think the next time we'll have our meeting fully in German. But today, at least to cater for everyone, we want to make sure that at least we do that. So, number one, we want to have vetting in terms of those who are able to do that, because you know this OSD exam is not just Schreiben. Because like in Kenyatta University, most of the students have no problem with Schreiben and lesson. But there is also a part of, you know, the other two parts. Yeah, so that's where the problem comes. Yeah, Sprechen and Hören. So you can pass so well in Schreiben and lesson, but Sprechen, you are not there. So that's as I've been telling, and I hope Irene has been explaining that you should be speaking German every single day. Kutoka asubuhi mpaka jioni. You get the point? So that you get used to speaking. You get used to speaking so that maybe the next 1 or 2 months, your speed. Because B1 is the A2 and A1, the speed of Sprachen is, they intentionally put it slow for you. But B1, B2, you have to capture the words in real time. Because our expectation is this. You're going to leave this place and join an house building institution. And that house building institution, Peter tells me he handles students from all over. There are some from, is it Myanmar? Where those are? Myanmar. Yeah. Yes, yeah. So he handles students from all over. So you are going to meet students from all over the world. From Bangladesh, from Thailand. So the level of speech must be the same. You see, that's why you have put into levels. That's also another thing. Then number 2, I had a meeting with the sponsor, PS Raymond Omolo. And he graciously agreed that we are going to have the immigration department coming to Tom Mboya University. The department is going to come to Tom Mboya University to give you passports. Get the point? So they're going to come here and they take your fingerprints and photos and all these are live capture. But what you need right now, everyone must have a birth certificate. I think there was a, where's Bramwell? Bramwell has had a problem. The name in the birth certificate was different from the name in the ID. So those are the things you have to make sure right now. You have to go and correct. So make sure you have a birth certificate, you have everything ready, your birth certificate for your parents. Not birth certificate, the ID for your parents. If they are dead, get a death certificate. You must make sure you have all the relevant documents. And then you also must have your what do you call it? Or anything e-citizen account. I'm sure everyone who doesn't have an e-citizen account here. All of you have e-citizen? Yes. So basically that's so that when the immigration people come here, they're going to come with their own systems here. They come, pick a kila mtu picture, and everybody's, what do you call it? Biometrics will be taken. And I think through that, it will be done, and I think it will take some time. I think maximum 1 week. See, so that passport, you're not going to have that passport to go to Migori. You're not going to have that passport to go to Nairobi. That passport ni ya kupanda ndege. Get the point? Na kupanda ndege, you have to pass your exam. Get the point? And right now, I think, as I say, these last two months, you have to dedicate, I believe, 24 hours doing it. If they have a problem, we have all these other issues, and I think we'll discuss with Peter and Kenneth to have a system of even helping you and our lecturers, just making sure that we are up to standard. I hope you've been, I saw Irene passing some of those sample exams from YouTube. I hope you've been passing through that every day. So, in a nutshell, that is what we want to do in a short while. So I don't know, as the team from CIA, wamefika? Or they're just coming in? Yeah. So basically, that is what we are planning. Number one, I hope also you have this. I hope everybody has this. This is like self-assessment. And I'm sure you have to know, everybody must know, assess yourself. Once you assess yourself, Peter will come and assess you, and all these other plans. Number three, we are having discussions with a lot of other partners. Those who will pass the B1 exams and are interested in medical field, nursing care, and such things. You will have to remain behind to do your B2 exams. You see, because for the nursing care, health sector, the minimum for you to join a building is B2. So those who want to do the nursing care, you'll have to do that. But we already have people, those who want to do hotel industry, mechanics, and all these other the industries of house building, we have B1. And we are going to have very many other people coming in. As I told you last time, the friends of ours who came last week who are more, they wanted to explain to you how they've been operating, but they are a private agency. You see, the difference right now, this is now more of a government program. So when it comes to Kama passport, you see, passport, you don't have to go to Kisumu, everything. Passport will be done from here. And it will take 5 days. You see? So once it's done, it takes 5 days. You have your passport. The next thing after having your passport, you have to pass your exam. You see? Because the kind of investment that is being put on you is not little. But for you to do a B1 exam, if you go to Nairobi, it will cost you not less than 130,000 shillings. A1, A2, and B1. If you go to Goethe Institute. So somebody has invested. This is not at any free. It is not free. Somebody has invested and somebody is sacrificing money that would have gone somewhere else for his own, so that you get to that. So once we clear with your passport, we'll hand you over to Peter. So Peter will be handling you once you have your passport, and you see that. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. Dedicate all your time. Kutoka asubuhi mpaka jioni. Just because you see, it doesn't cost much. You will just invest all your time in there. To do that, I can, because there are opportunities. Peter will tell you more about the opportunities. And as we speak right now, we have somebody in Berlin who will finish up with everything, and then you will get your visa and everything, work and resident permit done very fast, because this is being done with the support of the government. You get the point? Yours is a bit different from the private agency. Private agency will just come and deal with you, and it is good you saw how it works. It takes around 4 months. But for you, once you pass the B1 OSD exam, it will not take a long time. Depending on where you're going, it will not take a long time. So prepare yourself with these other things. And I think basically I can now hand over the meeting to Peter. He'll introduce himself and introduce his colleague who has come from in Lagos, OSD examining board. Thank you.
Asante sana, Mr. Gordon. Yeah, maybe let me come in front. In Germany, at this time, we don't say Guten Morgen anymore. Morgen till around 10. Now, we would say Guten Tag. And the answer is also Guten Tag. Okay? Yeah, my name is Peter Haug. I'm 63 years old. I was in Kenya first time 12 years ago. And yeah, this is life. Since 10 years, I'm married to a beautiful lady from Kisumu. Yeah. She's a Luo. In the meantime, every evening I call via WhatsApp. We have 3 beautiful cappuccino daughters, 5, 8, and 9 years old. Yeah, I never thought that I fall into happiness like this again. It's beautiful. That's why all my colleagues and the partners I met in Kenya, they all tell me I'm half Kenyan. I'm half Kenyan. I don't know of my wife or me. Yeah, but this is, I have strong connections to Kenya. Okay, my relatives in Kenya are spread out all over Mombasa, Nairobi, Kisumu, everywhere. I have family now. Okay, since 10 years. It's nice. Okay, Kenya is a beautiful country, and I only can say you are blessed. You are blessed that you are in such a program with Mr. Gordon, with the teachers, that the governments of Kenya and Germany, that they agreed to this bilateral contract. You are the one and only country in whole Africa with such an agreement between the two countries. We are not in a blurry situation or in an illegal way of man trade. It's an official path, it's an official road to transfer skilled young people to Germany. And I only can tell you, Germany needs you. Germany needs you. Why is it? This is a fault of my generation. I was born in 1968. And my generation and the generation before, we were very focused on our careers, on our jobs. We are not focused on family. And that this leads that the German families, most of them, have maybe one child. A lot of them have no child at all, and only a few have 2 childs. That means this is nice. We had time to build up our economy. And this leads that Germany has an unbelievable strong economy. Germany's economy by itself is stronger and more productive than the whole economy of Africa, of all African countries together. Can you imagine this? Yeah? But now comes the counter-strike. We are 55, we are 60, we are 63, we are 65. In Germany, you go into pension with 67. That means I still have 4 years like a donkey and work, and then a huge amount of people, they go into pension. But we had no childs in our families. That means no one is following us. We have one of the strongest economies in the world. But we not have successors. Is successors the right word? Excuse my English. I'm not an expert in English. I'm an expert in German, okay? Not in English. But I think successors is the right word. And that's why Germany needs you. We really need you. And the situation of our economy is so desperate, and it becomes more desperate year by year. The bosses of Mercedes-Benz, you know Mercedes? You know Siemens? You know BMW, Porsche? Yeah? The bosses of our global player economy, they are standing in front of the politicians. Give us workers, give us workers. If you don't give us workers, in 10 years, we will not produce a Mercedes-Benz in Germany anymore because we have no mechanics. We will produce Mercedes-Benz in Brazil, in China, I don't know where, everywhere around the world, but not longer in Germany. In Germany, only old people sitting around and waiting for the pension. This is the situation. And the politicians are aware of this, and that's why there are such bilateral contracts with countries, and you are blessed, you are Kenyans, with Kenya. Germany needs, in the next 10 years, per year, 450,000 young, skilled workers. 450,000 per year, minimum. better 500,000. That means we talk over the next 10 years about around 5 million people we need. And our economy, they don't care where these people come from. If there are 20,000 Kenyans, 2,000 Kenyans, or 200,000 Kenyans, Mercedes-Benz, they don't care. They need the people. If we need nurses, we need electricians, we need mechanics, we need welders, we need plumbers, we need people in the hotels, we need people for the elderly care. We need. When you are in Germany, you driving through the streets, on every lorry, every car, every supermarket, come to us, join our team. You get additionally benefits. You get more money. Please come to us. Send your documents to us. Join our company. We educate you. Please come. Come. And this is your chance. This is your chance for a brighter future than you ever imagined. In Germany, honestly, I have friends in Saudi Arabia, in Dubai, and not Saudi Arabia, sorry, in Arabia, in Dubai. But Germany has a complete different structure. What should I say? We Germans, okay, we are educated to be just in time, to be punctual. Sometimes we are overcorrect to the things. But in Germany, everything is very structured and controlled by the law. When you come to Germany, it's not allowed to work longer than 8 hours per day. It's not allowed. Yeah? It's not allowed to say, come here, get some money and work plus there. No, everything is by the law. Yeah? It's not allowed to work more than 5 days per week. You have to have minimum 20 days holidays per year. It's a minimum. But at the lorries, come to us, work with us, you get 30 days holidays per year. 35, you get additionally more money. The minimum amount of payment per hour in Germany is limited to 12 euros and 50 cents. 12 euros and 50 cents is the minimum amount if you wipe the floor or if you put things in the supermarket. The minimum amount per working hour is 12 euros and 50 cents. Calculated, transferred to shilling, I don't know the exchange rate today, 130, 140, around like this. I would say, how much is this, Kenneth, around? 1250 times 130, for instance. It's 15, it's 1,500 or 15,000? It's 15,000. 1,500? Yeah, 1,500. 1,500 per hour. This is the minimum amount for the lowest work. This is a law in Germany. Yeah, it's not that you come there and they take away your passport. I heard weird stories about au pairs in the Arabic countries. I don't know if it's true, but even when you hear this, it's weird that they take away the things that you're not longer like a citizen or like a human being. I hear it. I don't know if it's true, but this is unbelievable, unimaginable in Germany. Okay? That means I want to encourage you, come. There are different ways to come to Germany. You have transfer agencies. You have good people like Mr. Gordon with his company. You have a central platform from the government where you can see the job offers directly from Germany. There are 1,000 ways, but I only want to say you, come. You are very welcome. We need you. And what you then do with your money, what you earn, it's up to you. If you send it home, if you maybe meet a nice German guy, and you also have cappuccino babies, yeah, it's up to you, okay? Or if you meet a nice German girl, yeah, it's up to you, yeah. We are also a multi-culti society. Yes, my wife and my daughters, we live since 10 years together in Germany, of course. Yeah, this is the situation. And I want to encourage you, do the best. If you want to have this chance for a brighter future, then do it. Pull up your socks and do it. The one and only barrier is the language barrier. It's not the barrier to have a profession or to get an education, Ausbildung or something like this, to get a job. This is not a barrier. You get it. But the barrier is the language. Again, you are blessed to be in such a program. You have perfect condition. You have well-qualified teachers. You have good managers. You have everything here. The one and only thing is, you are really willing to sit on your butt and learn the shit. You are willing to do this. You have to think about this. You not have to. There are people, they are not gifted for, they are not talented for language. I'm not talented for mathematics. I'm not. You can teach me 5 years mathematics, I will not understand it. Okay? I was lucky to pass my gymnasium for the degree for the university. But I'm talented for German language. I'm also a teacher in history, okay? These are my two topics. This is my talent. And you have to think about yourself if you want to really do this. But then focus everything. Focus the next 2 months or the next 3 months. Focus everything, every little grain of your power. Focus it. It's worth, I only can tell you. Without B1, you have no chance to get a visa. You need B1 minimum. So one of you which have maybe nursing or something like this, it can be that you need B2. Yeah, there are different hospitals, they require B2. This is maybe a little bit another situation, but 90% of you only need, they need B1 to apply for a visa. And then you make job interviews via Zoom. You make 10, 20 job interviews, and then you pick up the best offer for yourself. Yeah? And then you have a pre-contract with a company in Germany, and this you also give to the embassy, and then your visa will come. And then you go. Okay? Back to German. Yeah. A lot of people tell me always, oh, German is a difficult language. It's so heavy, it's so complicated. I'm a teacher by myself. I teach every day. When I'm at the moment, I'm a commuter. I'm pending between Germany and Kenya. 20 days Germany, 10 days Kenya, 20 days Germany, 10 days Kenya, every month. I'm very thankful to my family that they agree with it. I teach in Germany every day in front of a school for 24 foreigners. You know, Germany has a refugee a crisis since 2016. It's not longer a crisis. We try to integrate them. We need people. Again, we need people. We don't care where they've come from. We need them. So, and that's why I'm a specialist in teaching German for adults. It's a different process than to kids, for instance, to German kids. Okay, it's very different. what you would say, is German, is it a difficult language? No? No? Tell me, mister. No, you. Is German difficult? It's not difficult. Okay. Yeah, I can say I agree and I disagree. Because German is it's an old language. And as older a language is, as more systematic is the language, as more organized is the language. English, it's quite younger. That's why English is very flexible. Okay? The structure of the German language is very simple. We have 3 basic rules in the German language. And with these 3 basic rules, you cover 80% of the communication. 80% of the language you cover with 3 simple rules. First rule, das Subjekt. Wissen Sie, was das Subjekt ist? You know what is the subject in a sentence? Das Subjekt. This is the boss in the sentence, okay? Das Subjekt, position 1 or position 3. No other options. 1 or 3. Ich gehe heute ins Kino. Other option. Heute gehe ich ins Kino. First basic rule. Subject, position 1 or 3. Second basic rule. Das Verb. Sie wissen, was das Verb ist? The action in the sentence combined with time. Yeah, the verb is responsible for the action and the time. Verb, position 2. Ich gehe heute ins Kino. Heute gehe ich ins Kino. The verb, always position 2. My colleague Kenneth Kariuki from Mombasa, he's a very skilled German teacher. He lived 18 years in Germany. He is speaking 99% like a native, I have to say. When we sit in the exams, in the B1 exams, you are too nervous, you are too lazy, you are not talented. There are different reasons. But 80% of you here, you have a great chance to pass the exams and to build for yourself a brighter future in Europe. If it's then Germany, if it's Austria or Switzerland. Managing director is a Kenyan, Ms. Niambu. Yeah, and we are licensed by ÖSD. Please don't get confused. ÖSD is an Austrian language diploma German, österreichisches Sprachdiplom Deutsch. They are only a license institution. They don't have any schools somewhere. They even not a school in Austria by themselves. They don't teach. They only create exams which are accepted by embassies. Okay? And we have a license. ÖSD gives license all over the world, and we have the license to work in Kenya. Okay? But the acceptance at the embassies of Germany, Austria, or Switzerland is exactly the same like the certificate of the Goethe Institute. Okay? That means there's no difference. But please don't get confused. We are not ÖSD, we are licensed by ÖSD. You understand the difference, I hope. Yes? We are a pure examination body. We are only specialists. We are not a school. We are not a transfer agency. We are only specialists, very sharp into the examination step. Yeah? To widen up this bottleneck. Yeah, This is the situation we have here. And I would say the difficult thing in the German language, the structure is primitive. The structure of German language is quite simple. What is difficult? The vocabulary. And this is a huge difference to English. In English, the vocabulary is easy. You only have to learn chair, mobile, shoe, leg, head. The article is always the same. The plural is always the same. S at the end. And then you are done with the vocabulary. In German language, der Stuhl, maskulin. Ja? Das Fenster, neutral. Die Tür, feminin. Why? I don't know. No one knows. No one knows why. It is like it is. It's not nice. And it's crazy. But it is like it is. And this is a really challenge of German learners. The really challenge is not the structure of the language. This is easy. The really challenge is the vocabulary. And that's why in the beginning I said, through this fire, you have to be willing to go. You have to sit down. No one likes to learn vocabulary. It's so boring and so difficult, and the next day you don't know anything, you don't remember anything, and you have to do the stuff again. And the next day you even don't get it. You have to do it again and again and again. If you are not willing to do this, let it be. Give space for other people. Forget the German-speaking countries. Focus on United States. Focus Canada. Focus Australia. Focus UK. I have no idea if you can have there the same future like in the German-speaking countries. I have no idea how it is there. But then forget Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. You have to go through this fire. This is your really challenge. Pull up your socks and do it. Or you will not have a chance. Don't believe the people who say, you can learn it, that we talk a little bit about behavior in a restaurant and then you know German language. Forget it. It's a lie. It's a lie. To learn a language, even every language around the world, is very hard work and has nothing to do with your intelligence. It's not like mathematics. In mathematics, when you understood 1 + 1 is 2, and you are really clever, you can calculate every other task. You can calculate by logic because you are smart. In a language, das Fenster, neutral, die Tür, feminin, there is no logic. Der Stuhl, masculine, there is no logic. Nothing. It's completely chaotic. Yeah? And this is a really challenge for the students. You have to be really clearly aware of this. And in the next 2 or 3 months, till we organize the mock exams, till we organize the sharp ÖSD in Legas exam, where you get afterwards an embassy-approved certificate to apply for a visa. In this month, I only can tell you, don't focus on Netflix, don't focus on Facebook, don't focus to nice ladies, don't focus to cappuccino kids, okay? Don't focus on vocabulary. This is what you need in the examinations. You have no smartphone, you have no dictionary, you have nothing. You have a pen and you have your brain. That's all what you have in the exams. And then you sit in front, probably in front of Kenneth Kariuki, and me. And then okay, you're the bone, I'm the dog. And I can tell you, especially for the mock exams and everything else, these exams are very highly controlled and monitored. There's a quality level we have to fulfill. There's no Mr. Haug, or something like this. Forget it. Yeah? It's by the rules. And that's why you have to be well prepared. We will support you. We will figure out with Mr. Gordon and with the teachers a nice, intense plan to prepare you for the exams. The mock exams is to evaluate your level. I can promise you, we are brutally honest. We not sugarcoat someone. We are brutally honest. And then you have a chance to level up yourself with our help. And then we go into the sharp official examinations. Okay? This will happen. Yeah, Mr. Gordon, Madam Irene, I have to tell more? Or is it enough now? Or help me, I'm a little bit lost now. Can I give them now time to ask something maybe? Or, I have questions. You have questions about, no, not any. If you are interested in anything about this, maybe, probably, hopefully future for you, then ask me, please. Perfect.
I'm Richard, and I have a question on grading of OSD. The pass mark as well, because of GOTE we know, and what about OSD grading?
Again, same, because the B1 examination between Goethe Institute and ÖSD, they developed this examination, the B1 examination, they developed it together. That's why it's exactly the same. The modules, for instance, as we started to work in Nairobi in middle of last year, we had already students, they started with the B1 examination at Goethe, because we were not there. And they passed Hören und Lesen, but they missed Schreiben und Sprechen. Then they heard about in Legas, licensed by ÖSD, and then they come to us, not to make the full exam again, they only have to make the two modules, Schreiben und Sprechen. Afterwards they passed with, in Legas, they passed Schreiben und Sprechen. Now they have two certificates, Hören und Lesen from Goethe, Schreiben und Sprechen from ÖSD. They put the four modules, the four certificates together, go to the embassy. Also the marks and the points are exactly the same, because the examination is exactly the same. Other question?
Okay, my name is Femi Omola. I've got 3 questions. Number 1, how long will the exam take, as in the time? Okay, will there be multiple questions so that you choose on? And there is, okay. I was asking, will there be multiple questions so that you choose on the one that you can tackle? And And the last one is, will there be negative marking for the incorrect answers? For example, if you have a spelling error.
Yeah, hey. My name is Kenneth. Like Peter said, we work together. We examine USD candidates, B1, A1, A2 so far. I also teach German once in a while, not all the time. Now, you asked about the grading system and whether there's going to be any negative, any deductions by virtue of having answered wrong. No, the OSD exam is structured as follows. It's just like the Gute exam. You have your first one is the Schreiben. It's Lesen. You start with Lesen in the morning for 65 minutes. With Lesen, you have your texts that you're going to read, and then there's some that are multiple choice. Most of them, essentially, are multiple choice. Then the second examination is the Schreiben. Schreiben, you get to write an official letter. You get to write an unofficial letter. And you get to give your opinion on something. In total, you write about what? 160 plus 30 would be about 200 words. Yeah? And then you have the Hören. Now, when it comes to Hören, you have 45 minutes within which you listen to a given number of texts and then respond in a multiple choice manner. Now, if you get something wrong, nobody's going to deduct anything. If you write a word wrong, that I don't think if you get to, like if you're writing an official letter and you have the wrong register where you write do and it is a formal letter, then that could be could have negative what? Outcomes. But as long as you know the structure and you stick to the rules and you practice a lot, because for exams, you know, we take German classes, 3 months, 6 months. And then after that, there's a phase. That's the exam phase. And the exam phase begins with practice, you know, preparing for the examination. It is a phase that is just as important as attending classes. Now, once you're prepared, because when you prepare, you essentially prepare for what the structure of the exam is. If it's the speaking examination, the oral examination, it has a structure. The oral examination has you speaking with a partner first, that's the dialogue, and then you have a monologue. And the monologue has its structure, and there's a way you're supposed to do it. You can't just walk in there and do things the way you feel like doing. So the preparation phase is very, very important also. That's how you get into the examination, and the examiners, you and the examiners are on the same page. Because I'll tell you one thing that we have experienced, which was most unfortunate, that we have a candidate before us, and they do not speak a word. They start to cry. Now, I cannot mark your tears. I cannot, no matter how well I might like to do that. What you give the examiner, the content that comes out of your mouth, especially when it comes to the speaking examination, because it is marked live. You know, the ones you write, those ones are put onto a box and they go to Austria and they're dealt with there. But the exam that Peter and I get to, the results we assign you, those do not change. So, what you give us is what we have to work with. Now, if you give us nothing, we have no choice but to give you nothing. But if you come in there, give us as much as you can. Let us struggle finding what may be useful and what might not be useful. I'm not saying you come in there and speak in your mother tongue. You're saying speaking words. No, no, no. Give it to us in German. Know where your verb should be. That's so, so important. He keeps. Even if I make a mistake, I'm just an ordinary Kenyan. I learned German like you. And I can tell you this. If for some reason I place my verb at the wrong place, for whatever reason, he doesn't let it go. He'll put it at the right place. Now you can imagine that's with me. What about you? What if you put your verb wrong before the man? What is going to happen? Yeah, you will not even want to hear anything else. So what you do is come to the exam room knowing nobody wants you to use fancy words. Don't use words that we need the dictionary to look into. No, don't do that. That doesn't impress anybody. But please know what your subject is in the sentence. Know that if you have das, your verb will go to the end. It's very, very simple things. Work with those words. Yes? Then you won't have to worry about negative marks, mami. Sawa? Yes. Any other questions that I could respond to? I'll gladly do that. Hamuna maswali? Yes, please.
My name is Nashon, and I have a question about pronunciation. Since we have various countries speaking Germany, and then you might have different pronunciation of the vocabularies. Is it very important in our exam to pronounce it like in a certain way?
No, we are qualified examiners, very well qualified. ÖSD is a high quality license giver and always checks if you stay in the right level of quality as an examiner. And we are trained to accept different pronunciations, the German pronunciation, the Austrian pronunciation, and the Switzerland pronunciation. This we have to accept. That means the range for you to pronunciate things in the right way is quite big. Oh, it's far. It's an advantage for you. We're not only representing Germany. We're representing 3 countries, Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. Okay? That means, of course, we have to understand what you say. If it's completely ununderstandable, we will ask again, please say it again, please say it again. But when the pronunciation has some differences to the standard German, don't care. Okay? We want to support you. We want that you pass. We don't want that you come back. I always open up the examinations. Dear students, I like you, but I don't want to see you again. Okay? This is the motto. This is the topic for our exams. You do not have to be in fear. We have to work together. Okay?
Good morning. My name is Bill. Guten Tag. My name is Bill. I wanted to gladly know, so let's say for Sprechen, we have 3 types. So is it possible for you to break it down to us, to know what is expected of us in the first style, the second type, as well as the third type, so that when we prepare, we know what we're preparing. Thank you very much.
Yeah, very well. It's like this. What happens to you is you essentially have completed the first 3 parts of the exam. Now, the final one within that day is usually the spoken one, the mündliche Prüfung. So you're put into pairs. You might be, let's assume on that day you might be 40 people. So you're going to end up being 25 pairs. You'll be one with your partner. So when your name comes up, you will go into a preparation room where you're going to have what? Peter. Where you stay for 15 minutes in the preparation room. Now you're given the question paper. Within the question paper, there are 2 questions. Like I said earlier, one is the dialogue and one is a monologue. So you're supposed to prepare. Now, when it comes to the monologue, it is a presentation. It's just like at university, where you have maybe you have your group and you need your PowerPoint presentation. So they give you 5 slides, 2 topics, each has 5 slides. And that's what I was talking about when I said that there's a formula. The exam is formulaic. The first slide requires you to introduce what you're going to do in the next 3 to 4 minutes, because you have 4 minutes to present. Now I'm talking about the monologue. The first slide requires you to give that summary. The second one requires you to give your personal experience in relation to the topic that you're addressing. The third one requires you to talk about your country in regard to the topic in question. The fourth one has 3 dimensions. It needs you to give the advantages, disadvantages, and finally, most important, your personal opinion. Then you have the final slide, which requires you to say, I am done, thank you, you may now ask me questions. Now please listen to me very, very carefully. When you get into that exam room to do that presentation, I need you to respond to each and every of those slides. Don't look at any and assume this one is boring. I will not. Because if you don't, the gentleman here is going to deduct marks. Okay? Don't waste a single point that you could get. And it's really very simple. Just follow instructions, rehearse, practice. Then, you have the second part, which is usually first. That's the dialogue. You have your friend or your colleague, and both of you are supposed to plan an event. Again, there's a series of questions that you're supposed to respond to. Do not fail to respond to a single one. And please don't give your partner yes, no answers. It is a conversation, and like I said, we need material in order to evaluate you. If you say yes, no, there's very little I can do with that as an examiner. I need you to speak so that I can know that you can hold a yes. Then there is the third part. After you have presented your monologue, your partner, or you being the partner, are required to ask one question. First you evaluate, you say what you think of the presentation. Someone might be asked a question about Mombasa, and they talk about Kisumu. Then you might say, I didn't understand anything because I expected information on what? On Mombasa. It's up to you to say what you say, but that evaluation is necessary. Then the second thing you're supposed to do is to question. Just ask a question. They're called V-Fragen. Those are those Fragen mit V. Zum Beispiel was, wie, wo. Sowas. So that the other person can then respond. And you also respond when they ask. And finally, you get to respond to a question from one of the examiners. Okay? Then you're done. All that takes about 15 minutes. That's the assigned amount of time. The number of points, you know what the points are? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's a score that one is assigned that then goes into the eventual grade. Let's put it that way. Yes. Now, before you ask, I'd like to say, sometimes you don't have a partner because it might be an odd number. Then you're left there by yourself. No problem. Come in. One of the 2 examiners is then going to be your partner. Then you shall work with her. No. Hey, by the way, you will be surprised that, like Peter said, we walk in there with very open hearts. The last thing I need is for someone to fail the exam. My goodness. So, if I am your partner, you'll be surprised it might even work better for you. Yeah? It might sound scary, but the statistics
the statistics says and shows clearly the one-and-one examination, when the two examiners have to help, there's only one student. These are the best, with the highest pass rate. Because you not have to figure out, maybe you have a weak partner and you don't understand what your partner is saying. It's a quite difficult dialogue. Yeah? You have to struggle. What is it? If you have an examiner as a partner, we always support. We talk nicely. We give you the right keywords. You only have to play with us. And I'm sitting there, okay, fulfilled.
Yeah, and you know, if you start about Mombasa, and the question is about Kisumu, when I'm an examiner, I will guide you back to Mombasa. Will I not? Yes. So, you may ask.
Okay, back to the presentation part. There's something I find rather tricky when, for example, you have a theme to talk about, and it's a theme that requires you, let me use an example, online learning, yes or no. So if it's the part of disadvantage or advantages, am I supposed to say the advantages of both, yes and no, or just pick a single one?
That is a very, very valid, because it's not only within that topic. There are some that actually require you to have two separate advantages, disadvantages to one thing, and on the other hand, again, you must give advantages and disadvantages. Look, what the examiner is interested in is not how truthful you are. I am interested in the location of the verb. I am interested in the linguistic features of your presentation. Now, you have how many minutes? 3 minutes to 4 minutes to present. If Peter doesn't stop the clock at 3 minutes, that's good. But don't go into the 5th minute, please, because you will force him to do it. Within those 4 minutes, kindly stick to what you can present. If you feel that you have enough points to add to advantages and disadvantages on the one hand and advantages, we always recommend this. Say things, yes, but try not to say too many things, because the more you say, the more I have to cross out, and I will not hold back, because I am not corrupt. I will not give you free marks. Yeah, the group at the back. You don't have any questions? Is it that you cannot hear us or what's going on? Nobody wants to know anything. Huh? Yes, so then rise up. You will be given the microphone. You know, one thing you have to do when you come to us in the exam room is to speak. You must open your mouth. You must be visible. Yes, and when you go to Germany, if you don't speak for yourself, you will not get nothing. I can tell you from experience. If you're a nice Kenyan who waits for things to happen, nothing will happen. Just be watching as everything goes by. So, if you have a question, kindly ask. Stand up. Be seen. Okay? Show us your feathers. Let us see them.
My name is James. So, what are the skills that someone will acquire before doing an oral exam? The skills.
Well, the first thing you need is German. Yeah? The only way to have German is by reading. You know the thing about languages, in my experience, language is it's an act. It is a presentation. It's like a song. Now, if you want to learn a song or to sing a song, you have to rehearse and rehearse. And the more words you know off of a song, the more of the song you can sing, is it not? Yes, and that's the way to approach language. Look at it as a performance, and then keep introducing your mind to it. I wonder to this day, whether when I lived in that country, whether I used to dream in German, and if my mother appeared in my dream, would she speak in German? I always used to ask myself that, because I am convinced that she would. So you need to get your mind to that state where at least, now when you're in Kenya, 30% of the thoughts that go through your mind are in German. That way, if you come to Peter to sit the exam, you are definitely going to pass. Let that be a goal. Vocabulary, and then how it interacts within together. You know, get to learn an adjective, then a verb, then a noun. Then let your mind figure out which one goes where within the sentence. That's what you need when you come for the oral or even the written exam. Because they're the same. Reading, writing, same thing, spoken. Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm Samson Otieno. I heard you talking about the disadvantages and advantages. I just want you to clarify for me because I didn't get it right. Are you allowed to just talk about the disadvantage or the advantage?
Again, I will reiterate my point. You have your question. Respond to it. They will ask you to give advantages and disadvantages. Give me advantages and disadvantages, but don't be a professor about it. Okay? Because all I'm interested in, at the end of the day, is production, the linguistic performance. That is what I'm looking for. That's what I'm required to do. I'm not supposed to evaluate whether you know these disadvantages or disadvantages. That's not responsible to say. Lady, where are you? Yes, there is one there. Where are the ladies? You need to speak, you know? There's a gentleman over here. I really would encourage ladies to speak up, because if you intend to go to Germany, you need to introduce yourself to the cultural aspects of the new life you're going to live. And you cannot speak. You cannot just speak. It doesn't work like that. Otherwise, the cultural shock is going to be too hard. Good evening.
I'm Paolo, and I have this burning question. Mr. Godwin talked about this EU guide, and I wanted to ask whether the grading is being generalized, because we talked about the four parts, and that's the you guys passed the two parts and failed the other two parts. Is the marks are the marks being generalized, or let's say you pass the speaking part, you score 25, and you need 6. So I've scored 25 in speaking, 25 in writing, and your end I had nothing, but I get the final 10 on the lesson part. Does it mean that it's passed, or are they generalized?
In my experience, and I belong, what I know is that in order to pass each module, you need to have scored 60%. Now there are 4 modes. There is passing, pre-event, time. Yeah? If you fail one, then you're allowed to redo it. If you fail all 4, you're allowed to redo them. What matters is you can only claim to have a certificate after you have passed on 4.
Even with your A2 certificate. You'll go there, but you won't do much. You'll maybe be working in a supermarket and stacking and cleaning the toilets and things like that. That is the best to do. But if you spend a little bit more time, sacrifice a bit, like Peter was telling you, for the next 2-3 months, for the next 2 months, you focus all your life in learning vocabulary, learning the verb structure, learning the adjectives. Focus everything in the next 2 months, your life is going to be much better. But in the next 2 months, if you still play Ohangla and go to so many other things, you'll spend these two months, but you'll have wasted your time. So anything you do, I just request you to take up everything, choose your right path. We are going to do these other discussions about the right path. Peter and Ken are more on the exams. Us will be giving you even more options. Those of you who want to go to hospitality, we are already signing an agreement with hospitality. The nursing and the healthcare work, there are a lot of them. Even yesterday we had some discussions. They want a lot of nurses. They want, there's an institution that needs, we need mechanics and mechanical engineers. This is going to work with this BMW and the Mercedes. So you need all these things. And maybe Peter, you can explain to them that in Germany, the industry, people, it's not like in Kenya where if you have a bachelor's degree, you'll be better than. Everything in your life, from 8 to 8, even at night, you dream in German. Dream in German and you drink water in German. Do everything in German, at least, so that when you meet them, it will be much easier for you. But please focus on anything. You'll get your time in the next 2 months to choose the path you want to take, so that you are not rushed to take something that you don't want to do. I'm sure that those in hospitality, you're going to have an agreement with hospitality. Those in healthcare, you will remain for 2 more months. Peter will help you pass the B2 exams. Those who want to do all these things, you will get all these other options. And it is not like Saudi Arabia where they'll cut off your head if you fail. Germany is the first world country.